As winter is approaching, I am bringing the Barari Bench back. I've got, obviously, the guest list being curated, and I wanted to jump on here because, obviously, I've spent a bit of time discussing other residents and let them tell their Barari story. So I thought it was probably time for me to share mine. For those of you that don't know me, I grew up in the middle of the Yorkshire Dales, surrounded by nature, trees, greenery, wildlife. And if you'd have told me back then that I'd be living in Dubai, I probably wouldn't have believed you. Over the years that I have been here, I have lived in all sorts of areas. I've lived in downtown, Marina, Springs, JVC, JBT, and they were all great in their own unique way, but I never really found that sense of community in anywhere that I lived. You know, I barely knew my neighbours. You live next door to people, but you never really know who they are. I used to find myself, going to the local bars, restaurants, just to try and integrate myself with the people around me, but you never really saw the same face twice. So through work, back then I obviously dealt with Arabian ranches and Barari. Back then, Barari only really comprised of the residences and the nest were just handing over. And then Ashjog released, and that became a bit of a focus for me. And as soon as I saw those, I realized this is where I need to be. So that's when I moved to Barari. Single at the time, all of my friends thought I was mad. They were convinced that I'd kind of push myself out, that I'd be lonely, that they'd never see me again, but it couldn't have actually been any more different. It became the friendliest place that I've ever lived. I met people within weeks. I found a little community, friends, neighbours, clients, and it's given me that social life that I was struggling to find anywhere else in Dubai, anywhere else that I'd lived. And I think that's what people don't necessarily understand about Barari, because you don't feel that until you live here. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, you're surrounded by nature and trees, which for me, it probably does feel a little bit as close to home as possible. But it's the lifestyle here that really makes it what it is. And there's always something happening, whether you're a sports enthusiast, whether you're tennis, cycling, football, or you like the more social aspect of life. We've got cocktail club, progressive dinners. There's always an event going on in the community. And I truly don't believe that that is anything that's found anywhere else in Dubai. If you can tell me different, please do so. But I think more than anything, it's also the people. Everyone here has the same ethos. Everyone's entrepreneurial, business-minded. They all want the same things in life, and people want that social aspect. They want that sense of community. They want their kids to be able to go out and play with their friends on the street or in the park, and that's where Barari truly stands out. So, yeah, I just thought I'd jump on here, explain my Barari story, and I look forward to bringing more guests to you in the coming weeks to explain this. So stay tuned.